Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to BSG Online 8. I will be your host for the next 3 runs. My name is Killer Chair, and with me I've got 2 fantastic gentlemen playing something very complicated. So take it away, Huds.
Thank you very much, Killer Chair. Hello, everyone. My name is Hud601. It is wonderful to be back on BSG with you all. I'm going to be here doing the Sonic Boss Rush Shuffler. Before we get into that, though, I'd love to introduce my commentator, who I literally roped into this about 10 minutes ago. Hi, Ard!
Hello! Yeah, I had my face filled with a crisp roll, being like, crisp roll. And Huds goes, yo, you want to come commentate? I'm like, sure, why not? Also, he's doing a dumb.
This is very much a dumb. So this is Alistair's Magic Box. This is made by Alistair Aitchison, A.G. Aitchison on Twitch, by the way, if you want to go and drop him a follow. His Magic Box is very, very special because it allows us to shuffle between different games for different reasons. So you can see here we have 4 different ROMs loaded in. We have Sonic 1, Sonic 2, Sonic 3, and Sonic & Knuckles. But in the latest version, there's this really cool feature here called the Boss Rush. So what this allows us to do is across all of the games, there are 42 different bosses. And we are going to have 4 bosses running at the same time simultaneously, and every time we hit a boss, it will randomly shuffle to a different one. Now, for this to work, I'm going to shuffle the seeds, so this is completely random. I do not know what the order is going to be. I'm going to get them in a completely random order, up to 4 at a time, and we're going to try and get through this as fast as possible. Normal speedrunning strats don't work, so I've had to kind of figure out a better way of doing some of the bosses, but we'll see how it all goes. Down the bottom left, there will be both a swap counter and a death counter if you want to keep track, and there's also a boss counter in the middle to show how far through we've progressed. One last thing to say about this. At times, the game can flash quite fast between different bosses. If at any point you feel uncomfortable, please look away from the screen, but please just do be aware that at certain times there may be fast flashing images. So, with all that said, this is the very first marathon outing of Alistair's Boss Rush Shuffler. Arg, are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready. Are you ready?
We'll see, I suppose. Let's get this thing underway in 3, 2, 1, go.
Ooh, starting with Ice Cap 1. Alright, so a really important thing to remember as well is that the game here does give us the ability to grab some rings on some of these bosses. But when you hit the boss, as was mentioned, whoops, and now we're suddenly in Launch Base. So Launch Base 1 is coming up now. We are going to go in. We are once again going to get the swap. So you know what happens. Here it comes. Whoop! Into Marble Garden. Oh, it's staying with Sonic 3 right now. You're getting all the Sonic 3 bosses. Oh, and a Mystic Cave.
So you'll notice the rings are carrying between them as well. So one other feature we've got enabled here is that the rings carry between all the different bosses. Now that can be advantageous because it means if I, for example, don't have rings in a particular boss, I can pick up rings in a different one. However, it also means that if for any reason I lose all the rings in one of the bosses, I've lost them in all of them. Which can, depending on where I am, be very tricky.
Indeed. Now, there is one exception to this, and you may have saw it on the menu there for eagle-eyed viewers, and that is Doomsday Zone. For those of you not aware, Doomsday is the supersonic zone of the game. You start with 50 rings, but Alistair has made an option to keep that separate from the rest of the shuffler, because we've tested it, and if you get hit in any other zone, and it swaps back to Doomsday, you just die. So we're now coming in Knuckles. Oh no, and away we go. As another boss is gone, and every time one of the bosses die, another boss will take its place the moment the end of level jingle is set to start there. As we come to our first Sonic 1, it is the Marble Zone. So we're going to go through, we're going to jump in, and we're going to go to the area now, just to see, there's taking the hit, there's the damage, but grabbing some of these rings here, just to make sure we keep these rings going through, is what we're looking for there. Another boss down. So far, so good. There are certain bosses, and all bosses are not created equal in this game. Speaking of bosses not being created equal, here's one here. This
is my Achilles heel.
You don't like this one?
No. Mainly because it's very easy to just lose all your rings on this boss. If you take a hit, they just disappear outside of the stage.
Yeah.
Just like that.
To do about it. Just like that. Yeah, well done. Good job. So thankfully you still have them, which is nice.
Yeah.
But we want to make sure that we always have at least one ring when we're transferring. Don't get punched by Knuckles. Come on.
Oh, what are you doing? There we go. Got him.
Nice.
Okay.
But we are going to go through. We're going to go and we're going to get these hits on these bosses. Yeah, that is unfortunate. That's the very left hand side, and you did not get the ring there, but it should be okay because depending on which one we get transferred to, we should be able to grab some more rings from here. So we'll see what's going to happen on our next boss. But as I was saying there, not all bosses are created equal. We do have some bosses such as Lava Reef Act 2. We also have Doomsday. There is also the final bosses in all the games, because again, if you are not aware, the final bosses in these games do not have rings. So if you get hit in there, I think you're dead. And almost. Okay.
I'm definitely taking more damage in that one though.
Yeah, but as long as you have your ring, you should be fine.
Yeah.
So we're going to go and we're going to go through. We're going to go grab the hits here. Again, this is hard because of the moving platforms. The other thing as well, you're not aware of it until you actually play it yourself.
Oh,
the
no,
game... Oh dear, that's going away,
okay,
yeah. The game likes to... If you are pressing the jump button as you hit a boss, or in Sonic 3 and Knuckles' case, you're doing an insta-shield, the game likes to take that as another input for the game that you are going to. So if you're pressing the jump button and you swap, the game will swap as well. And they'll also remember that you have that jump, and it'll give you a jump, which is really bad for the stages that you have a shield on.
Oh,
More about the shields later on when we get to them.
Okay, so 6 times so far without a death. This is good. Good progress. One thing I will say is it is possible to do this deathless. Yesterday, I managed to complete the first, as far as I'm aware, first ever run in the world where this has been done completely deathless. Actually, I'm going to go back. I'm going to go grab some more rings.
No, you wanna grab some rings here, especially on
put steps down. I need to go back.
the red eye.
There we go. So
this is another one of the hardest ones, isn't it?
This is one of the hardest ones. There's a couple of other little nuances. For example, the first hit here won't swap it. It's always the second hit. Whoops. So yeah, a couple of nuances. Some of the levels, the first hit won't actually swap it. You'll also notice the final hit on a boss doesn't swap it either. So a lot of this as well is about memorizing not just which levels have the rings, but the specific strats to do in the shuffler, because again, you can't always do the normal boss strats as you'd normally do in a Sonic game, because some of them require you to keep Sonic in a very specific position or hold a particular direction. And that's not always possible because you don't know when you're going back to that boss. And also, you know you're going to lose rings in some bosses. At some point, you're going to damage boost. I always prioritize grabbing a ring, because if I don't grab a ring and I'm in a precarious position in another one and I swap back, I'm taking a death. So it's kind of... There's a lot to think about, and at the same time, I'm also trying to memorize what position I'm in and how many hits I've done on each of the 4 bosses that are currently live. So there's a surprising amount going on.
Here's the thing as well, right? Taking a tactical death is not a bad idea.
No, in some cases it can actually be faster. So yeah, a good example of that is Lava Reef 2. Lava Reef 2 is a very long auto-scroller. It is, if you run out of rings and you fear that you might take, you might die in the level, it is generally faster to take a tactical death in a shorter level, grab some rings before you then shuffle back into it. Because you'll lose less time.
Yeah, because the longer levels here, and what we mean by longer levels is either levels that have you do a little bit of the level at the start, like for example there, you saw it in Chemical Plant, we'll have it in Lava Reef 2, bosses that also have more than 8 hits. Because we also have the longer bosses, like the final bosses, they can take anywhere between 12 and 16. You can also have other bosses that only take 4. So there's some really nice bosses that are really quick, really short that we want to take advantage of. There's other bosses that just completely, they just suck. You're going to try to do Slinky? That's not a Slinky.
Can we get that was a Slinky. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a Slinky.
Is that a Slinky? I thought you...
That's a Slinky. 1, 2, 3. Triple Slinky.
Oh, I thought you had to go backwards.
What?
Why'd
you have to go backwards?
I've been lied to.
That's a triple Slinky, I'll have you know.
I've been lied to. Alright, here's a fun but hard boss. Let's see if HUDs can get the boss here on balance. So you want to have the spikes to drop down and then hit the boss there. That is off cycle, but that's alright. We can reset, go for it again. Of course, when you swap out, there you go. But swapping back immediately. Going to get the jump on that one. Try and remember on the other side here. Getting hit by the orbs there. Going to try and get another couple of hits on the red eye coming through. Always trying to make sure we grab a ring. Another important thing about classic Sonic games that a lot of people don't generally recognize or generally know about it. If it is your final ring, it should always bounce to the left-hand side. So avoid the left-hand side of the screen, because once it goes off screen, that is it. You are in trouble.
So, a couple of other little nuances. Some of the bosses, like, for example, in Death Egg 1 there with Red Eye, we would normally just damage boost the whole way through. But again, I have to be a little bit careful about how I'm doing that. Because if, again, you know, I'm in a position... Oh, I missed the invincibility. I need the invincibility because it's faster on this one, easier to get it. There it is. Yeah, the damage boosting. It is possible to do the damage boost strat, but again, if I lose my rings in a different boss and then shuffle back and then take damage, I take a death. And Red Eye is one of the longer ones because it's a 2-stage boss, so...
And the second stage is definitely very annoying because you have the laser beam, the spinning platforms, the moving around. It's a whole mess to try and deal with. But yeah, I can try and get the 4 bounces on here. We should get nut on the first one, swap on the second. 3 and 4, as long as HUDs doesn't have the left or right input in there, should be okay. Again, the game remembers where you are, what momentum you have, which buttons you're pressing as you change it, so it's easier said than done as we get to go through there. Also, seeing question being asked there, if the shield was grabbed, would that have carried over? No, because the way that this works, and we're going to reveal the curtain a little, we're going to pull back the curtain just a little bit. The way that this is working, this is all save states. So you will see that some of the levels here are starting a little bit further back instead of starting actually in the boss fights. That's because Alistair has created this in such a way where it will load up a save state for a particular boss at the last checkpoint before the boss fight. So that allows us to then basically just, sometimes you're just right outside the boss fight, other times you've got a little bit of level that you need to do, and away you go. But no shields or anything like that will carry over, because this game is effectively constantly loading save states on a swap. It's a very smart way of doing it.
It's a really clever way of doing it. But it does mean that for some levels, it's done from the final checkpoint nearest to the boss. So for some levels like Sky Sanctuary, you're right next to the boss and I get some rings. Starlight 3, the checkpoint, in fact, a lot of the Sonic 1 levels, the checkpoints are near the boss, but there's no rings after it. It wasn't really till Sonic 2 that the Sonic team started adding rings on your way to the boss.
Ah, there's trouble. Ooh, you got that. You can try and grab that one as well. Nah, it disappeared. Unlucky.
Also got one. So again, the invincibility really helping out here in Green Hill. I can get all the hits without taking any damage. It just saves a little bit of time, despite going back and getting it.
It's quite good, isn't it?
Oh, here we go.
Oh, here we go. Here's the long one. All right, welcome to the end of Sonic & Knuckles. It is the Malicious Fingers. That is its actual name, by the way. And then,
is it really?
Malicious Fingers 3. Yeah, it is. 3-phase boss fight. You've got the fingers, you've got the nose, and then you've got the final hits on Eggman himself. If you die at any point in time, you are back to the start. You also have no way of getting any rings. The downside, now that Huds is in this boss fight, when Huds gets to phase 2 there, he is going to have to hold right on every swap to make sure he does not fall into the hole. It is not going to be good.
It's really difficult as well, not only because I very frequently forget to hold right, and then it's basically instant death, start again. Oh, final zone, hold right. As long as I don't mess this up, I should know the order of this. The order is...
4-3-2, 4-2-1, 4-3.
Thank you very much. That's Red Eye done. So yeah, with Death Egg 2, I need to hold right. I frequently forget to do it. The problem is, if I end up having a level... Oh, it's your favourite. If I end up having a level where I really don't want to hold right, I then end up in a very precarious position because I need to for that one, but if I swap to the wrong one, I'm probably taking it.
So we mentioned it earlier, this is of course Doomsday Zone. You can see you have a lot of rings on this one, picking up rings, and that is great. This level is not attached in this version of the run that we're doing. You can attach it where if you take a hit on any stage, you come back here with no rings, you just insta-die. It's an interesting challenge to do it. But we do also have the boss fight coming through now. We're going to take the missiles, we're going to hit him on his nose. Other than that, it's going to function exactly the same as any other level as well. The difference being, once you finally beat Doomsday, however many rings you have left will be added to your final ring count. I love this stage. This stage is so good. This boss is what made me want to have like supersonic stages at the end of every game. Nice.
These missiles hitting him. They're just avoiding him every time. Come on, hit him. One of you hit him. Oh my word, what is going on? There we go.
There you go. You're doing very well there.
So 4, 3,
Right,
2, 4, 2,
3.
1, 4.
Yes. And if you fail this, you'll just have to ask Jurgen of the Scrap Brain to be nice to you. Ooh,
Okay,
all right,
so 2, but I need to be on the left side for this one, because 2 and 3 are going to come down this time.
Yep.
Oh, they're going to
Oh, and there goes the ring. Okay, so do not spin. Oh, why did you spin dash there?
It's fine, it's fine.
See, the other thing that's hard here is that any rings that are collected in Doomsday doesn't actually matter until Doomsday finishes. So we're in a very precarious position right now, having Mecha Sonic, Doomsday, the Sonic 1 final boss, and the Sonic 3 and Knuckles final boss here, because the only one that we can actually finish is going to be Mecha Sonic, to then potentially try and get a stage with rings in it. Now, what would be really bad is if Huds somehow ends up getting Lava Reef at the end of this one.
Ah,
and there's the death there. But
he
it's
jumped.
early enough. We knew it was going to
that's
happen.
Oh, also,
But
I'm probably
again,
going to
we're
take a
stuck.
second death here. I'm probably going to fall through the floor. Oh, no, I didn't. Okay.
Oh, you didn't?
Usually it screen shifts, so if you are in a spin dash state on this boss, on Sonic & Knuckles, and take a death, it will screen shift, and thus part of the floor won't be solid. So I normally just take an extra death there for safety, but I got lucky this time. 4, 3, 2, 4, 2, 1 next. So every time I have to repeat it to myself, or I will.
No,
forget
yeah,
the order.
yep. Okay,
You'll let me know when
missiles.
there's time for a donation.
Yeah,
to
yeah,
read
jump
out.
on in, Killer J. Jump in, sorry.
Alright, fantastic. No worries. We have a €38.56 donation from Alistair saying, "Oh wow, so excited to see the boss rush shuffler in a marathon. Good luck, Huds. I'm sure you'll understand the significance of the donation amount."
Oh, I think I do, yes.
What do you mean you think you do? It's your world record,
It's my world
mate.
record. Alistair, thank you so much. And thank you for making such an amazing game mode, by the way. Huge shout outs to Alistair A.G. Aitchison.
Oh, definitely. This is a very perfect level just to show just one of the differences on the levels that are far away from the boss. But we do have some rings, which is going to relieve the pressure on some of the other stages that we're doing. And again, just to echo what Hud said there as well, like, Alistair, thank you very much for all the shenanigans you make with the Magic Box. The Boss Shuffler is but one of many different new ways to play these classic Sonic games. They are all absolutely phenomenal, and I love them to bits. Like, thank you for making these.
Yeah, genuinely, like the Sonic Ring Shuffler as well is just pure chaos, like beautiful, beautiful chaos. I absolutely love it. So in this one,
do not adjust your stream. That is the bitrate being nommed by the lava fall.
yeah,
Huds is now a block of mess.
Okay, so with that one, we've got a fire shield. The problem is, as Arg mentioned earlier, it sometimes has a habit of taking your jump inputs from one game into another. From one boss into another. So what you're going to see me do is just before every bomb hits the boss, I'm going to do a jump towards the left. That means that when I go back, if it does activate the fire shield, it's going to push me away from Robotnik, not towards him. So hopefully I can keep hold of the fire shield and thus make the level infinitely easier.
Question, how are you going to pull that off on a stage you have to keep mashing the button and press right on?
That's a very good point. Carefully.
Because on the Doomsday, you need to be pressing right and mashing jump to get boost. So it's like, it's like, okay, sure, you can do that. It's like, this isn't going to work out the way you expect it. Although, to be fair, 16 minutes in, 16 bosses in, that's one boss a minute. And we've got 3 of the 4 long ones already out of the way. This is going quite well.
It's going pretty nicely, isn't it? Only one death, which I will more than happily accept.
And it was early on the Malicious Fingers as well. So speaking of the Malicious Fingers. Oh, we're less than 10 rings to go. Should be alright there. Ooh, nice jump over the mine.
Okay, if it doesn't swap, it's my second to last one. Right, so this is the last hit on Doomsday.
Oh, I'm so glad you got those 6 rings. I'm so glad you got those. It's like, please no, please not.
So the interesting thing, those 12 rings we finished with in Doomsday now carry over into the other levels.
Which is why you start with 12 rings in this one.
So kind of like 2... Yeah, over a third of the way through now. So not doing too bad on time and everything. And as you say, we've got a couple of the really long ones out the way. Still Launch Base 2 to come, which is another really long one. That's like a 3-part boss.
I do appreciate that.
I should have got that.
Oh, you should not have done that. That's not good. So it's not bad on this particular level itself, but it is bad for the rest of them because that insta-shield is going to have to come out and do work here. Do not. Are you going to? Oh my god, you did. Okay.
There we go.
That's going to... Oh.
I really need a level now with rings.
Yeah,
Please swap me something with rings. Metro 3,
I mean,
that's good.
I think every single level now can give you rings. I think you've done every level that doesn't give you rings.
You might be right, actually.
Because there's
Probably.
not many of them. As you say, most of them are in Sonic 1. You've done Green Hill, you've done Marble. You haven't done Lab. You haven't done Spring Yard, but it gives you things, so that's fine.
Lab 3
I
is a one and done anyway. That one we shouldn't have to do any swaps on.
Yeah, I think they're good. Because every other one gives you rings on it.
That's why I want to rings. These fingers are so annoying.
The fingers are very annoying because it takes the hit after every single one. You're trying to spin dash. And because you're trying to spin dash and the game registers a jump, it can register the jump while you are still within the hitbox of the finger, so you take damage. See, it's funny that people seem to believe that the Sonic 1 bosses are rare in the shuffler. You always complete all 42. So you always complete all the bosses. The order that they come in is different. Now, here's the thing. Out of the 42 bosses, there are only 6 that are Sonic 1. So, there are only, like, there's not a lot of them.
But then Sonic 1 was like half a game compared to the others.
It was indeed. You're actually doing really well here. That's really good.
So yeah, what I've been doing over the last couple of weeks is essentially... Oh, here's Spring Yard. Oh, sorry, 2 seconds. I'll just time this, because there is some specific timing for this.
Grab the invincibility, bounce over, we're going to run, we're going to jump onto this, allows you to get some speed to jump over in, through and round, and this allows us to carry the invincibility unless HUDs are going to fall into the ground.
Don't say that. Don't say that! No, So yeah, one of the things I've been having to do is essentially having to relearn how to do the bosses in this style. Because, you know, for a boss like this, it's very easy. You just jump over the bombs and use the fire shield and you're all good. But that's not really possible when you're shuffling back and forth between them. So it's been a little bit of hard work to try and figure out some new strats for it. But for the most part, it's been okay.
The other thing as well that makes it really, really funny, in my opinion anyway, is that as speedrunners, we are so used to doing bosses any specific way. We are fighting against our muscle memory. And then when we switch back to doing speedruns of the games, we then default to boss rush mode and we're like, oh yeah, we've made it. Aww.
Okay, so if I do this right, I'm not going to hit Robotnik at all. And we should get all the way to the top and not swap once on this.
Indeed. This is a boss that you can hit the boss 8 times and blow him up. All that does is it makes him move up quicker. Completely pointless to try and hit him because you must always finish the game by hitting the capsule at the end.
There we go. One under him. And then hit the capsule. Job done. That's lab 3. And we're halfway through.
Ooh, Flying Barry. Why are you hitting yourself? The boss, the video game, based on the novella, the movie.
Everyone say hello to Mr. Tickles. We do enjoy it. Shout out to RPG.
Okay, last hardest one in the game here.
Ooh.
Well, I say that, there's 2. This one and then Death Egg 2 from Sonic 2. So this is where the hard part begins on this particular boss fight, because HUDs is now constantly moving towards the right. It has to be moving towards the right every time.
Oh, I held right. That's the problem with holding right. Straight down the
Yep. What did I say, HUDs? I said don't fall down the hole.
I'm blaming you for this one.
I know you are.
It's Arg's fault.
So yeah, it is one of those unfortunate things, just you're trying to keep holding right in case the game decides to swap you back to the phase 2 of Malicious Fingers there, because if you are going to the left, you will fall down the hole, you will die, and you have to go to the area. But if you don't hold right, there's a chance you fall into the hole, and it's like, oh, just how do you do this? One of the most important things and one of the most powerful skills that you can have in speedrunning in general, but more so for something like this, and it's going to sound really, really silly, don't panic. Like, the worst thing that you can do in the boss shuffler here is panic. Because that's when you're going to make even more mistakes, and losing a life on one boss is fine, but losing it on 3 or 4 is not what you want.
All I'm thinking about now is all the different speedrunner noises I've made while doing this.
Oh yeah, like we've got a lovely compilation going.
So, a good example of a change in strats is with the laser that I'm on at the moment in Death Egg 2. I would normally go for 3 hits on the laser. So you bonk him on the nose, it opens up, and you go for 1, 2, and then jump over the laser for hit number 3. Then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Whereas in the shuffler, I only go for 2. I go for 1 on the laser, wait for him to fire, and then jump over the laser for the second hit. It's not that it's not possible to do the 3, but it's such a small window in which to do it in. It's just safer this way. And again, yes, I could damage boost through it, but I don't know when I'm going to get rings again. And if I miss them all, I'm then ringless in all 4 bosses. So, we tend to damage boost a lot of the bosses. Like, one of the most common strats in Sonic games is continuous damage boosting, because you damage boost, grab a ring. And as long as you've got at least 1 ring, you're generally safe. But there's no guarantee you're going to go to a level with any rings, so you kind of can't use that as a strat. That's a great thing about the shuffler. Damage boosting, if you're carrying rings between levels, is no longer a strat that you can use. So you have to think about it.
Unless you do this stage, in which case you wait for Dwayne The Rock Johnson to jump into the quicksand and away he goes. Speaking of a hard stage, unlucky.
I've got 2 of the death eggs at the same time. Really?
You do.
The one benefit of carrying with the rings, though, is I have rings in this level. Normally, this is done completely ringless in Sonic 2.
Don't jinx yourself, god damn it.
Oh, too early.
Oh, and then we get the low down one, so single hit coming off there. Gonna get 1 more hit on that, gonna hold right, gonna jump hit the boss on the laser, gonna get... Oh,
I'm in a very precarious position in Spring Yard again.
Yeah, you need a left on Spring Yard, but you need a right on Malicious Fingers. It's like, oh, what are you gonna do? So again, just at that boss there. Oh, smooth. Uh-oh.
Fine, grab the ring. Oh no, there goes my ring.
You were saying. Okay, so another cool feature that we've not actually pointed out yet. So HUD's just got hit on... Oh, damn, I can't even say it now. So HUD's got hit in Sonic 2, grabbed 1 ring while getting a hit, and then got hit in the Death Egg fight here. Those rings that were still flying in Aquatic Ruin were still able to be recollected as well. So if you can get hit in like 2 or 3 games and have the rings still being scattered, you can technically use them as safety rings. But it's very, very hard to do that. And now phase 3, it has to go. Why are you spin dash strand?
Oh, you gotta go for it.
No, you didn't.
Now I need to hold right.
Yeah, now you do need to hold right.
I'm probably gonna take oh yes, finished. Okay, let's hope I get something with rings. Because otherwise I'm definitely gonna take a death in Death Egg Sonic 2. Flying 2. Yes, this is good. I get rings.
Barry, this gives you rings. This is brilliant.
Gives me lots of rings. Happy with this.
This is another stage where you don't want to die on, because you can see we've got this long auto-scroller section that we're waiting on. However, we can grab these rings. We have plenty of rings coming out on this one, which is very, very good.
Heidi ho.
Heidi ho.
Always got to go for Heidi ho.
Sir, this is a Wendy's.
Like a number 9.
For another donation.
Yeah, go for it, Killer Chair.
Fantastic. We have a €5 donation from Zelda Addicted saying, "Dear HUDs, every time I see you on screen, you do weirder stuff. I love it. Also, hi Argig."
Hi.
Thank you, Zelda.
Hi, Zelda. Hope you're doing well. Alright, so here we go.
Hold right. Oh, and see, that's the thing. I nearly forgot.
Hold right. Not that much right. Not that much right. God damn it.
Okay, I'm just gonna focus now. Arg take over because I need to remember to hold right.
So we're gonna get these bosses. We're gonna get spin dash on this one. We are holding right for the end of Sonic and Knuckles here. This is the most important boss. The rest of the bosses are quite frankly irrelevant at this point, because if Suds dies on this boss at any point in time, it is back to the beginning of phase 1. It is a massive time loss. It does not matter. The fact that you got caught with that. Yeah, no, this is bad. This is bad in Sonic 2.
Okay.
But taking a death in Sonic 2, it's the one stage that it doesn't make sense to take a death, because you're going back to Metal Sonic and there's no rings there either. We need to hope for a stage that has rings. This is what we're looking for. We need a good stage. Come on, game.
Ooh, Hydro did that.
Fine,
that
perfect.
works.
We can get 3 rings here. 3 rings here. We're going to line ourselves up for the magic position here.
Oh no, I'm not. I don't do that on this. Because the moment I move, it's gone.
Hold right,
like,
hold right.
There's like 1 pixel it works on. So for this one, we just do the boss normally.
Alright, gonna grab those hit here. Just keep running.
Okay,
You've got like
oh
3
no!
more on that.
Oh no! Tails!
And that's what we mean. And that was a true by Tails.
I had 1 hit to go.
Oh, that's the worst. That is actually the worst. It was so far in. And the thing is, it wasn't even HUDs that got the hit there. It was Tails that did it.
The orange hindrance strikes again.
We've not even mentioned the orange ball of chaos in Sonic 3 or Sonic 2.
Can I just say?
Yeah, that's right. Tails' hits also count on the bosses. Oh no!
Of all the times for Tails to get a hit, fair enough. But then of all the bosses to swap me back to, why that one?
The orange ball of chaos strikes again. All right, let's see if we can get some hits on this. Are you? Yeah, you are. It's fine. I was going to say, are you spin dashing there? But you should be. So we're going to jump. We're going to go. We're going to get a hit on the schnoz there. That was not a swap back, or that was an insta swap.
It was a quick one.
Running away from them. What? Okay. That works, I guess. I was going to start spinning. Don't do it.
There we go.
There we go.
Okay. Hopefully something with rings again now.
I do like the fact it's like never been so disrespected by Tails in my life. But we have. It's like, no, we have. Most definitely.
Of all the times for Tails to do that as well.
I know. It's like the second last long one that you have. Like, you have the two final remaining long ones in there, and it's the two end of games.
And I was literally one hit off.
Oh, the little troll. He's feeling very smug right now.
I always go for that third hit. I never get it.
See, as you can see now, we are back to doing the finger strats again. We've got to wait to go take out all the fingers, to take the hits on the lasers, to then go do the final hits on Eggman. It's a pain.
So the worst thing that can happen right now is Launch Base 2. Thankfully, that wasn't.
So, HUDs, but the remaining bosses...
Yeah.
What do you think is going to be your last one?
Oh, good question. Good question. Trying to think what's... What do you think it's going to be?
Stando 2, 100%.
You reckon? I reckon Lava Reef 1.
Really? Ooh, okay. Alright, so the last couple of hits coming up here. This should be the end of Death Egg 2.
So Death Egg is a great level because as long as you've got at least one ring, you can basically damage boost it.
Yep.
Because you can always guarantee to grab another one.
Get the 10 rings, get the 10 rings, grab the 10 rings, yeah.
Oh, there's Lava Reef 1. That's not the last one then. That's me out.
Hey. Okay, so HUDs, do you hit these bosses or do you not? You do.
I do, yes.
Okay.
Because it's quicker.
Watch this be Stando 2 now. God damn it.
It's listening to us.
So we're both out immediately. Wow. Thanks, HUDs. Appreciate that. We're both out. That's impressive. That is. That is super impressive.
Oh, quick hits.
I love the fact, like, see, this is what we mean by the screen can get flashing. When you can get into a rhythm of getting hits on bosses like that, that is really good.
Yeah.
That just sounds nice. Alright, we've seen people saying Casino 2, we've got some Ocean 2 as well. Both are still in play, so we'll have a look and we'll see. Calling Hilltop. Fair enough. You must call it by the time we get to boss number 33. If you call it after 33, it doesn't count. Because then the number of bosses goes down and it's easier to guess. Oh. Remember, hold right when you get it.
1, 2.
Rush, get the hits, gonna switch back, gonna jump over, gonna go for it.
I did get the second hit early because it switched back fast enough.
Yeah. Okay.
What should be Hilltop? What should be Hilltop? Oh, no, Angel 2.
Angel
okay.
Island. Yo, it's Angle Isnode! Let's go!
So just grab the extra rings just because. So this is another one where the checkpoint is before the cutscene, so we have to go through the cutscene. This is one where we would normally like grab the fire shield before, for example, and then do all 8 hits on the boss and then fire shield away. Can't do that in this because you're guaranteed to use the fire shield before your 8 hits, and you don't want a fire shield in this because both sides of the boss arena are death pits. Yeah, so grabbing the fire shield might be faster normally. In this, it's an almost guaranteed death. Yep. So we leave it instead, and I've got a slightly different strat for this one, which is, for the most part, safe.
Yeah, kind of found that out the hard way. And by that I meant I fire dashed off the edge many times. Like, why is this not working? Oh yeah.
Oh, are you getting the fire shield still?
Yeah. No, I was. I'm not. I
you
don't
was.
now. But at the start when I first did it, yeah.
Oh, Emerald.
Oh, Emerald Hill. Ooh, wait, we've not had this yet. Dang.
Okay, so I hate to admit this, but despite this being the first boss in Sonic 2 and one of the easiest bosses there is, I constantly die on this one.
What?
Yeah, I'm really bad at timing it for some reason. I don't know why.
Okay, fair. What are you doing, Tails? How are you doing? Oh, bye. In the hole. See, the other cool thing about this as well, if you get really lucky, you can get it where you're on, like, 4 of the same game, and the boss tune just...
Oh, just continues.
When you swap, the boss just continues, and it's like, it's so satisfying when it happens.
It's great. And up it comes again.
Or you get that like we get now with the music.
So, less than 10 to go now, 9 to go at this point. Grab the fire shield, even though I'm going to lose it straight away. And here's oil lotion.
Oh, there's oil too, so those who have said oil lotion are incorrect.
So I'm going to grab the invincibility for this. The most common way I die on this one is I forget to jump and I end up sinking into the oil.
Nice.
So I'm going to try and avoid that this time. Okay, it looks like we're okay because we're on top of the boss this time. Sometimes what can happen is you start sinking into the oil and you start getting the hits, then you never get a chance to jump out of the oil. Because it keeps swapping away before it can register your jump input.
Yeah.
Ooey ball.
Ooh it.
Ooh it.
I'm sorry for the noise. Listen, just listen to this glorious noise it makes.
Ooh it. Ooh it. Ooh it.
We love the good old ooh.
Okay, I'm back on hold right, which is a really bad time because ooey ball.
I was about to say, you ain't doing
and
nothing
oil
in
lotion.
ooh ball. You ain't doing nothing in ooh ball. Oil lotion you should be able to recover as long as you keep mashing jump. Ooh ball, you ain't doing naff. No. Ooh ball, you should be fine. Do the spin dash into it and then immediately switch to holding right. So you should be fine on
Emerald
that.
Hill done. So still got Launch Base 2 to go, which is worrying me.
Nah, Launch Base 2 is fine.
Ooh, Casino 2.
Oh, so it's not Casino then. Another prediction is gone. Oh, I saw you pressing left there. I saw that. I'm nowhere near you and I saw that left press.
So, just going to be chilling out in the oil here. So, Mark, seeing as we're in Casino, do you fancy another night at the casino?
No, no. Yeah, in like a month or two. We've got to space them out. I got to build up my funds again. Hey, how does it feel getting a victory?
Oh, it's so good. So good to finally get one.
It?
Oh, it's great. I feel like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders. Oh dear. While we're doing these, Killer Chair, if you got anything you'd like to say, now's a great time to jump in.
Naturally, I can always tell people about the charity we're raising money for, which is Mind. And Mind is a nationwide organization committed to prevent mental health issues and to support everyone who is dealing with mental issues themselves or within their family. All of your donations will go to Mind, and it's a wonderful charity. That's kind of all I have to say on that.
That's great, thank you very much.
Very much.
Yeah, Mind is an amazing charity doing some incredible work in the UK for mental health. So yeah, if you are able to donate, if you're able to support even just €5, please do put your money in if you can. I shouldn't have spin dashed there because roll jump control.
Nope,
but
you should not. Yep, you did. There you go. We're going to get the bounces on that. And Tails is probably going to throw you on that one.
So guess what is last? It's going to be Launch Base.
It is actually going to be Launch Base, yeah. Because we now have 4 bosses in the rotation. 37 plus 4 is 41. Means our final boss is Launch Base. It is Launch Base 2. And there it is. Yo, Hodge, do us a favor.
Yep.
Don't take the cannonball at the face.
I mean, I'll try not to.
Okay, I'm glad you're trying. It is a very satisfying finale, and you'll find out why.
However, because of the ones we've got on rotation at the moment, this actually works out brilliantly for me. Because Launch Base is a 3-part boss, okay? So 3 different bosses, all requiring 8 hits. However, the other ones I've got, I'm not only fairly far through them, but as these start to disappear, obviously it can only go to one of the other 3 now. Once I clear them, there's no more swaps, so I'm going to end up, hopefully, with Launch Base 2 being the last one left and nothing to swap to, which makes this actually, aside from just losing my rings there, thank you, Tails, this should make this a relatively straightforward clear if this works out.
Nah, mate, you're doing the rest of the stage hitless, I'm telling you now. You're losing those rings.
I need
You're
the rings
gonna
on
have to do
Hilltop.
big arms hitless.
Oh, no. Oh,
Yeah,
no.
you are. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. Oh, no.
Oh, come on.
Oh, no. So, you
Okay,
know that
this has
thing
just
you were
gone really
worried
bad.
about happening?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about to happen.
This has just gone really bad.
Yes, it has. Like, you had a nice buffer there to get into big
dear.
arms, but,
Also,
no.
oh, no. Oh.
You're in trouble.
I'm in big trouble. I've now got to do 2 bosses. 2 bosses in Launch Base with no rings, and I need to finish Hilltop. Though Hilltop should be done in a second.
Wait, is it? What is it? Rob saying, I'm in danger. Yes, you are.
So the question is, do I take a tactical death in Hilltop to get some rings?
No, the boss is almost dead. Why would you do that?
Well, exactly. But it's just, the problem is this cutscene. This cutscene's like a minute long. If I die here, I've got to go through the cutscene again.
I'm not going to say it, but I know exactly what half of your
Too late.
community are thinking. Like, if you want to take a tactical death now, go for it, but yeah.
Nah, it's fine. Screw it.
So I know exactly what half of your community are thinking right now.
Does it begin with S by any chance and end in
It
issue?
does. It does, yes.
Oh, dear. At least the
All
benefit
right.
is now no more swaps.
There are no more swaps yet. You
Oh,
are
death.
taking a dangerous game there.
Oh, that was so tight.
Oh. So you can get one there, and then wait for it to come up. Wait for its thing. Yeah.
There we go. Okay, so
8
big arms to
hits
go.
on big arms. So time is coming up fairly soon. We'll let you know when time is coming. We got 8 hits left on big arms here. It could end in a minute. It could end in 5. It depends on HUDs.
Oh, no rings for big arms. Help.
Yeah, you ain't doing those quick hits.
I'm gonna go for it.
You're an idiot.
I've got time. I'm gonna go for the insta shield hits. You gotta do it. If I die,
I mean,
I
for
die.
the people. For the people.
Drop.
Oh my god, how did you... Okay, fine. Ugh. I don't like those. How?
So there should be one more, I think, if I've...
Two more.
2 more, yeah. The last one on the left. And then we've got the cutscene to play. There we go. That's
Sir.
what we like.
I salute you. That is impressive right there. Skill on display. GG's. Time is coming up when the cutscene ends. And then the game flashes up saying Boss Shuffler complete. Or Boss Rush complete, should I say.
Yeah. Oh. See, the thing is, like, yes, it's risky to go for it, but if you're not risking it, like, come on, it's a marathon. You got to try at least, yeah? You got to try and show it off. So we're going to see the flash. We're going to see this final little cutscene here, and then at the end of this, time will be up. So we're about 3-4 seconds away. And... time.
Hey.
40-43 with 4 deaths. I'll take that. That's not bad. That's not bad at all.
That's really good. You're saying not bad. That's if you didn't get record a couple of days ago with your practice, that would have been it.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm really, really happy with that. That is the very first outing of the Boss Rush Shuffler in a marathon, as far as I'm aware, anyway. So yeah, 394 total swaps, 4 deaths throughout it. A couple of little unfortunate ones, but it happens. You can't always, you can't win them all. But yeah, that's the Boss Rush Shuffler. A huge, huge thank you and shout out, firstly to Alistair Aitchison, AG Aitchison. Please do go follow him. Absolutely wonderful creator, does all kinds of weird and wonderful things, but is also the person who has made the Magic Box, which is what enables both the Sonic Ring Shuffler and this amazing Boss Rush Shuffler as well. It's genuinely an honor to get to play this and show it off for everyone in this marathon. None of this is possible without him, so all the credit to him, because he's the genius that makes all this stuff work. Arg, massive thank you for jumping in with like 5 minutes notice to do some commentary.
Mate, thank you for inviting me. It's always a pleasure, mate.
I literally just saw you online. It's like, oh, you still streaming? No. Do you want to come do some commentary? We're starting like now.
my reply is, mouthful of crisps. No beer.
Oh, I love it. Thank you so much. Big shout outs as well. Firstly to everyone at BSG. It was absolutely amazing getting to meet so many of you at ESA. It's wonderful to be back on BSG as well. BSG were the first marathon I ever ran at a little over 2.5 years ago. And it's always great to come back. I'm always very, very honoured when you invite me back. So huge thank you for letting me show this off. Big shout outs as well to everyone in Club 601. Love you guys. You are all amazing. You're all incredible. And massive shout outs as well to the whole Sonic Speedrun community, an incredible community. If you want to come and learn how to speedrun, maybe not this as your first one, but if you want to learn to speedrun any Sonic game, classic, modern, whatever it might be, come join the Sonic Speedrun community. We've got different Discords for the classics, the modern era, the adventure era. Yeah, there's always wonderful people that are willing to help you get to know this. And huge shout outs to my wife who's been putting up with me shouting, despite the fact she's currently in bed feeling very ill. So, sorry, wife. Big love to Mrs. Huds. But with that, I'm going to hand back to Killer Chair. Over to you, mate.
Cheers. Thank you so much for that run. Absolute delight to watch. Everybody, next up we got Green Snowdog playing Katamari Damacy reroll, and it's going to be a wonderful time. Stay tuned. Keep your donations coming. And see you soon.